Axel Sandin-Pellika and Micheal Brandsegg Nygard arrive in Grand Rapids.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I am the other host, Kyle. We are brought to you by the fans, for the fans. We are not officially sponsored by the Grand Rapids Griffins or the Detroit Red Wings. Not that we wouldn't like to be. Maybe someday.
Yeah, we're pretty much a podcast by the fans, for fans. We're not experts or anything. We're just diehard Griffins fans, and we love getting out the actual Griffins information that's going on instead of just everyone who's a Red Wings fan talking what they think they know. We're actually at every game, and we get to see what actually goes down and see how these players develop, and we're here to let you know what's going down.
Yeah, so with the latest news, obviously everyone's heard about Axel Sandin-Pellika and Micheal Brandsegg Nygard coming to Grand Rapids. They looked pretty good in game one.
Yeah, I feel like Axel Sandin-Pellika definitely brought a new aspect to the power play that we haven't seen all year. His IQ and his smoothness have definitely made it so there's a lot more opportunities, and he has a really nice slapper. I'm just excited to see once chemistry starts developing how this can affect our power play.
Yeah, and he led the team in shots after the first period, so he comes in and makes an impact immediately. And then Micheal Brandsegg Nygard, we're number 64, so getting the N64 reference. I like that one. I'll probably stick with it. But yeah, just kind of moving on to the next chapter here, as it seemed like just yesterday we had Edvinsson and Casper in here as the 2 first-round picks, and we've rolled right over to the Danielson and now the Axel Sandin-Pellika, Micheal Brandsegg Nygard, and Anton Johansson. All these new kids are coming over. A whole nother page, a whole nother chapter.
Yeah, you see a team evolve, and that's the thing with the Griffins. You got your Red Wings. I mean, that franchise lasts. You sign your dudes for 8 years or something. Here in Grand Rapids, it's like you got these dudes who stick around for a couple of years at max, and then you got your first round picks who come through every year. And it's a fast moving league, and it's hard to stay successful, but the Griffins have stayed successful for the most part. They've been in the playoffs a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's super exciting as we're always looking forward to the future here in GR. So the playoffs have started for the Toledo Walleye, and Toledo is leading that series 2-0 in round 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs.
Yeah, they're playing the Indy Fuel and the Central Division semifinals, up 2-0.
The Detroit scouting department has been keeping their eyes out. They've couple players around the NCAA have caught their eyes with Nicholas Andrews and now Justin Truscott from U of M, former Michigan Wolverine captain. Sounds like he will sign as well with Nicholas Andrews for the 25-26 season. And then across seas, they get Edwards Trollmax. Hope I say that right. He's on a team with Jaromir Jagr right now, playing in the Czech League this year, where he is the league leader in points, where he got 5 points in his last game. So interesting prospects coming in. He is also a 28-year-old prospect, so not really your average pickup here.
Seems like more of a veteran kind of guy, probably, for the Walleye or the Griffin. Maybe a Austin Watson kind of guy, Tim Gattinger kind of guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's get into the standings and the team leaders.
So the Grand Rapids Griffins in the standings, they have 78 points. They have played 71 games, 36 wins, 29 losses, 4 overtime losses, and 2 shootout losses.
And then we have, for the rest of the division, we have in first place the Milwaukee Admirals with 91 points. They have clinched the first place spot. Second place, we have the Texas Stars with 89 points. In third place, we have the Grand Rapids Griffins with 78 points. Fourth place, we have the Chicago Wolves with 76 points. Fifth place, we have the Rockford Ice Hogs with 70 points. Sixth place, we have the Iowa Wild with 61. And seventh place, we have the Manitoba Moose with 54 points. So all the playoff spots are locked in. We have the Rockford Ice Hogs with fifth place. They'll be taking on the Grand Rapids Griffins or the Chicago Wolves. If the Grand Rapids Griffins can manage to get 1 point in this next game, they will lock the spot up and they will get a first round bye.
Yeah, and this game's against Iowa, so they really should be able to win this game and get the 2 points and move on with the first round bye. So going into the AHL standings, we have the Laval Rocket on top of the league with 99 points. The Hershey Bears in second place with 96 points. The Colorado Eagles in third place with 94 points. In fourth place, the Charlotte Checkers with 92 points. And in fifth place, Milwaukee Admirals with 91 points.
The Grand Rapids Griffins are sitting at 18th on the overall list. And looking like the Laval Rockets are the only team that have the chance to pass 100 points. They at least have to get 1 point in their last game. They can be the one team that crosses 100.
Yeah, it seemed like the Griffins had all April to step back up and be in the top 10, but they just couldn't figure it out and stayed pretty neutral in April. So now going into point leaders, we're going to cover the goals for Grand Rapids. On top, we have Sheldon Dreiss leading the team with 24 goals. Joe Schneively in second place with 21 goals. Austin Watson in third place with 19 goals, tied with Amadeus Lombardi. And then in fifth place, Dominic Shine with 14 goals.
So for the points in Grand Rapids, Joe Snively is leading the team with 47 points, followed by Dominic Shine with 45 points. Third place, Austin Watson, 42 points. Fourth place, Sheldon Dries, 39 points, tied with the Amadeus Lombardi. So yeah, I mean, if you look at that list, it's mainly the veterans who have been putting up most of the points this year for Grand Rapids. Then you got Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombardi and Danielson hanging on at number 6 there. So now moving into the AHL goal leaders, we got Metic Blamel with 39 goals. He's got one more game to get to 40. Alex Steves from Toronto Marlies, 36 goals. John Leonard from the Charlotte Checkers, 36 goals, tied with Alex Steves. Then Rory Currens, 33 goals for the Calgary Wranglers. And in fifth place, Matthew Pekka for the Springfield Thunderbird at 31 goals.
So I'm wondering, we're going to get ourselves a 30 goal scorer here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I'd say we're due for one.
The point leaders in the AHL, we got Andrew Prodorowski for the San Jose Barracuda with 73 points. Second, we have Matej Blumel from the Texas Stars with 72 points. We have Seth Griffith for the Bakersfield Condors, 68 points. Chris Terry, former Grand Rapids Griffin, with the Bridgeport Islanders, 66 points. And in fifth place, we have Charles Hudson, 64 points for the Ontario Reign. No one's going to break 100 down here.
So we can go ahead and get into the playoff picture. So we have a very chaotic Atlantic division where still a couple things could change up here as we have one game remaining and there are some variants that will come into play. But it looks like as of now, the Hershey Bears and the Charlotte Checkers will be getting the first round bye for the Atlantic division. In the North division, looks like it is set in stone. Laval Rocket will be first in that, getting the bye. And they will play the winner of the Toronto Marlies and the Cleveland Monsters match up in the first round. And then the Rochester Americans and the Syracuse Crunch will be the other matchup in the division semifinals. So in the Central Division, we talked about it. Milwaukee clinched first. So as of now, it looks like both Grand Rapids and Chicago could be the players of Milwaukee, depending on the outcome of tonight's games. And then they will have to play Rockford in the first round, whoever drops to the bottom. And then the Texas Stars will be ready for whoever
stays in third place.
Yep.
Whoever
stays.
hits third place.
So in the Pacific Division, the Colorado Eagles are the only team that will get a first round bye, and there's multiple other outcomes of that as well in the first round. So we'll have to wait for the end of the regular season for both the Atlantic and the Pacific Division.
So yeah, let's get into our hot and cold. So for this segment, we like to pick one player who is fiery hot and another player who is icy cold. Then we like to randomly generate a number, match it with the player's jersey number, and rate them. So who do we got for hot?
Number 65, Dominic Shine, returning to the Griffins for April, and he has had 8 points in the last 7 games for the Griffins. Part of the huge offensive explosion against Rockford when we scored 15 points over the weekend. And yeah, it's just good to have you back, Shine. We really appreciate your efforts on the ice and your physicality and what you bring.
Yeah, he's played 60 games for the Grand Rapids Griffins with 14 goals, 31 assists, 45 points, and he has a negative 14. Yeah, Dominic Shine is one of my personal favorite players. He's just like great, even during autographs and stuff, where players, they really don't want to be there, but he's just always real nice, engaging with the fans. And then he has such a locker room presence. He's selected to be the number one dodgeball person. The players would have selected someone in dodgeball. Half the Griffins said they wanted him. So that tells you.
Yeah, and he's a great leader, and he's just needed down here, especially during this playoff push. I really enjoyed his time being up on the Red Wings. I think it was one of the best moments of the Red Wings season for me, was Shine going up, and just that was a game I was not going to miss. So being able to see him in the winged wheel, and now he's back and just tearing it up as right where he left off. Yeah, he's dropped a couple of minuses on the plus minus here, but Shine's playing his game like always, and that physical little riot we had against Rockford there, yeah, they deserved it every little bit.
Yeah, so let's get to cold. So cold, we have Shai Buum. He has -4 in his last 4 games. Played 67 games. Got 2 goals, 23 assists. Got 7 points, +2.
He's been pretty good the whole season. I think he's been just kind of cooling off steadily this whole second half of the season, especially as the whole defensive core has been under pressure and been letting in a lot of goals. So William's not free of any of this. So he's got to get some of this cleaned up. With the arrival of Antonio Hansen, Sandin-Pellika, it kind of seems like he's taking a back seat almost to their presence and what they're bringing to the table. So I'd like to see him stay firm on where he left off halfway through the season here as one of our top defensive prospects and not get overshined. So keep going, Shy. He's got 2 points in these last 4 games, but he left Sandin-Pellika out to dry on that one play. He left out on a 2-on-1. Pellika could not do anything about it.
Yeah. I kind of think Tuomisto's kind of right there with him, with the taking the backseat behind these 2 new flashy new guys that came in here. But yeah, I think they should get it together and make the room more competitive.
Going into our random player, we randomly generate a number 1 to 99 and match it with a Griffins jersey number. So today it looks like we're going to land on 41, Andre Becker. And I'd really like to talk about Andre Becker, so you can go first, Connor.
Did I ask to go first?
No, but I told you can go first, so take your opportunities.
Okay, I guess I'm going first, everybody. I guess today is the day I go first. So, all right, we shall get into it. We'll be getting into it now. Time will come. All right, so Andre Becker's played 58 games with the Grand Rapids Griffins. He has 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points, and he has a -14. But yeah, he was drafted last year, so he's immediately jumped in made an impact, a big impact, getting those 10 goals. That's a huge milestone for a first-year AHLer. You can't complain at anything he's done. He's there when it seemed like when all the big dudes were gone or injured, he kind of stepped up and kept us afloat when we were almost sinking. So for a first-year player to come in, I expect big things from him next year.
I agree. I think he's proved that he can beat AHL goalies. He's burned them on a couple breakaways where he just finds the back of the net. I think when Finney came on, he found himself a good, quick partner to work with, kind of like with what Lombardi had with Mazer for a bit. And yeah, I think just having these guys moving forward, like Becker, like you said, he's a young first-year AHL player that gets himself 10 goals. It's like a milestone for him, and it's well-deserved. He's been out there working for it. So along with all these veterans and really just Becker and Danielson that are the rookies putting the pucks in the net.
Yeah, he's definitely a great contributor to the team. So let's get into our ads.
The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for the high stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? That's your call. Here's something special for first timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are now going to talk about some reinforcements from the pipeline as players' seasons have ended. They are now coming over to Grand Rapids to get more playing time. So we got 4 new guys. We got the 2 obvious first-round picks, Axel Sandin-Pellika and Micheal Brandsegg Nygard. Then we have Emmett Finney and Anton Johansson, all making some pretty good contributions so far.
Yeah, so we'll start with the top headline player here. Everyone is super excited about Axel Sandin-Pellika, and watching him in this first game, I think all the hype is deserved.
Yeah, he just brings a whole new level to our power play, and just some of the passes he's making are just passes that no one else on this team is making. And you can see that already. It just some of these backhanded passes and some of these nice, smooth plays, it's going to really contribute.
So ASP being the 17th overall draft pick for the Detroit Red Wings in 2023, playing on the Skellefteå team in the SHL with Micheal Brandsegg Nygard for 46 games. He was the highest scoring under 20 defenseman in the league with 12 goals. He has 17 assists and 29 points, plus minus 0. So some really good stuff there for ASP, and we can talk about his partner in crime, the Hyphen brothers, as people have mentioned it. So Micheal Brandsegg Nygard from Norway was the first-round pick for the Detroit Red Wings, the 15th overall pick in 2024. His Skellefteå totals were 42 games played with 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points, finished a minus 2. Both of them performed very well in the playoffs for Skellefteå, but got eliminated in the second round. So we will just have to enjoy their presence in Grand Rapids while we have the chance to see them, because in my opinion, they don't look like they'll be around for very long.
Yeah, I like his big. It looks like he's physical on the puck, really, really fast. He has a real big shot too. he's like that kind of power forward we've kind of been needing here in Grand Rapids, and I think he's going to be needed. His power forward's going to be really useful up in Detroit also, because he's probably a player that'll end up in Detroit probably sooner than later. Yeah, I'm impressed with him so far. He needs to be a little more patient on the puck. I mean, but he's played one game. You can't really make any sort of solid assessment off one game.
Yeah, one game in an away crowd where the Griffins start a riot and he's out on the ice. And yeah, MBN had not a whole lot of experience in that type of game. So it's to find out what the AHL is all about in his first action. So looked a little lost amongst the brawl. But we'll talk about Anton Johansson, who has come on for Grand Rapids in 11 games now. He was a 4th round pick, and so far, so good. I think we've seen a lot. He's been burned one-on-one. We've talked about that. But overall, we've seen a great game. He's very physical, maybe a little too aggressive at the blue line, but he's very good with a stick, his poke checking. And yeah, it's good to see. He's not the biggest guy, but I think he'll fill into his body.
Yeah, and he's just getting over here. He's one of those guys that has to adjust to the ice. If all things go right, he could have a pretty fast track down here in GR, maybe a year or two. But him and Wallander playing together, I like that because like Wallander likes to get a little crazy. Anton stays back with the poke check, and it's been working out pretty good. I like seeing them two play together. Swede connect.
So across these for Anton Johansson and Lexans IF, his totals in 46 games played were 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points, and -1. So good start here in Grand Rapids for Anton. Then last player we'll talk about here today for reinforcements, we've got Emmett Finney, who is a 7th round pick that we think the Red Wings kind of pulled a really good player out of some last minute picks. And it looks like Emmett Finney putting up 84 points for the Kamloops Blazers in 55 games. Just shows how much of an offensive scoring threat he can be.
Yeah, that's just insane. That's so insane that I was looking at that and I was like, are these right? Is this even real? Yeah, Emmett Finney being a 7th round pick, that's amazing. If he can translate that to the AHL, which he's already got a goal in 9 games he's played, 4 assists. I mean, I think he's going to be a key piece of the Griffins next year.
Yeah, and like Doucette came on full-time this year, I think Finney will come on full-time next year. The one difference is I don't think Finney will have any time in Toledo. I think Finney's looking good enough that he looks like he belongs in the AHL immediately. That should wrap us up for the pipeline reinforcements. We got 4 really young players that are looking to make their way and possibly find their way in some way into the NHL, possibly into the winged wheel jersey. So we can go ahead and get into the penalty box.
So in this segment, the penalty box, we like to step out of hockey and end the episode on a fun note. We take the biggest idiot of the week and throw them into a penalty box for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
Well, we were watching the Red Wings try to survive the elimination of the playoffs, and they had a game on TNT, and it was just the puck tracker was back. The power play comes out, and the puck is being tracked, and some people say it just looks like a little sperm flying around out there. Yeah, even if we did score, I mean, it just kind of takes your eye off the actual play. It doesn't really serve that good. It's more annoying than the player names popping up over their heads. It just kind of blocks what's really going on, takes your eyes off actual hockey. So it might be great for people that don't watch hockey, but yeah, I don't see the point. Let the game be the game. 2 minutes to TNT. It was a big problem before. They've done this in the past, but this one just wasn't any better than any of the previous attempts. They've tried a glowing puck too.
Yeah, I say just learn how to follow hockey, and you'll see. No, you don't have to have a tracker. This isn't like fishing on your bass boat. So who I got for the penalty box? I have the fan appreciation night. Kind of really dull this year. I was kind of a little disappointed. There wasn't like anything really that would make a fan feel appreciated.
I would have to agree. I just seemed like any other regular game. There wasn't a whole lot to it. It was just, hey, thanks for being here and thanks for being fans. And they did like an announcement, which thanks for that. But I mean, in the past, they've done like mystery bag giveaways and just seemed a little underwhelming this year.
And I kind of feel like a lot of people were, I mean, I know you don't need to expect it, not right to expect things, assume things, but a lot of people got there early and waited in line. They thought they were going to get some of those bags. They go in and there's nothing. And then I guess there was a lot of sales in the zone. So that was the way to show appreciation, but there could have been like cheap ice cream, something a little more.
Yeah, just maybe like a little note in our seat, like that lets you know that you know who was coming for the season ticket members or something. Makes you feel better, I guess.
Yeah, so 2 minutes in the box. So that should pretty much wrap us up for this episode. There's one game remaining in the season against the Iowa Wild. We'll have a season review episode, and we'll have a playoff preview episode, and we'll be in the grind of the playoffs. Hopefully our Grand Rapids Griffins can fight through adversity and come home with a Calder Cup.
And we'll be trying to give you those game reviews by game. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like, and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.